The Southern Pacific Stockton Flyer was running late. It had been delayed at Port Costa. Engineer James McGuire was pushing his giant locomotive faster than the normal 60 miles per hour in order to make up the lost time. The Southern Pacific took pride in being on schedule. McGuire was confident since the only other train on the tracks was a good 30 minutes ahead. The night of December 20th, 1902, was cold and dark but clear, perfect for a good fast run into the inky blackness of the vast San Joaquin Valley. The Owl Limited had left Oakland half an hour before the Stockton Flyer. The Owl Limited catered to businessmen, shoppers, and students from the University of California at Berkeley. This evening, the train also hosted a colorful Chinese wedding party bound for Fresno. Hidden within the silken robes of the bridal party was a leather bag of gold, diamonds, and other jewelry, a valuable dowry for the beautiful 17-year-old bride. After passing Cornwall Station west of Antioch, the Owl Limited swung south and headed for the Central Valley. Soon the train was barreling through Brentwood. But after leaving Brentwood, things began to go terribly wrong. A steam leak smothered the Owl's boiler fire. The train slid to a stop as it neared Byron. The stalled Owl Limited was 20 minutes behind schedule. Now less than 10 minutes behind the Owl Limited, the Stockton Flyer was picking up speed. The Stockton Flyer's engineer, McGuire, saw numerous white lights of the Owl's passenger cars, but no warning light. He assumed the Owl was sitting safely in the Byron siding. Then, less than 1,000 feet from the stalled Owl Limited, McGuire saw the red warning light. The rear car was crushed like a giant accordion. After the grinding crash, the screams began. 9 of the first 10 dead, cut out of the wreckage, were crushed beyond recognition. The resort at nearby Byron Hot Springs was quickly turned into a hospital. The people of Byron rushed in to help. Volunteers pulled people out of the wreckage. As best they could, the citizens of Byron tended to the dying. Eventually, an emergency train arrived from Oakland. The most seriously hurt were loaded onto the train and rushed to the Southern Pacific Hospital in San Francisco. Contra Costa Sheriff R.R. Veal was on the Stockton Flyer. The sheriff had to organize men from the flyer to stop the looting of bodies. 28 people died. The entire Chinese wedding party was killed. Henry Curry, the coroner, brought 12 bodies to a temporary morgue in Martinez. Various inquiries concluded that both trains failed to exercise the necessary care. The Stockton Flyer's engineer, McGuire, and the Owl's brakeman both lost their jobs. McGuire went mad over the tragedy and soon died. The Contra Costa coroner, Henry Curry, was later accused of stealing valuables from the dead passengers. 15 years as a coroner, Henry Curry had never contributed a dime to the county with monies recovered from dead bodies. Henry Curry never held elective office again. Eventually, 28 died. This was the worst train wreck in California's history. The Byron disaster and similar tragedies stimulated national legislation that improved train safety. For California, the survivors, and the families of the victims, this was a moment in history.